friends. Today I have my lovely friend Kosi. Kosi, say hi to everyone. Today we will be talking about Kosi and our transitions. Kosi is a married woman and a mother as well. And basically today the topic is just talking about her and getting to know her as well. So hi Kosi.
It's Victoria. You don't know me. Don't call me Kosi.
I call her Kosi. That's her
Refer to
name.
me as Victoria or Mrs. Victoria. Thank you very much.
Odegu. Is it Odegu? Odegu.
Odegu.
Okay, Odegu.
Later on, we're gonna find out why she's speaking Igbo. Later on down the line. Keep watching this episode. It will make sense. Anyways, hi everyone. I'm excited to be here. Cynthia invited me to just speak on because we want her platform to be a platform that touches on many topics, right? Not just 50-50, just all aspects of life, right? So when she reached out to me, we collaborated on the topic, which is transitions that many women out there are going to go through, right?
Yes.
And if you don't want to go through it, it's perfectly fine. But this is a transition that every woman is going to go through, from a single woman to a married woman, from a married woman to a mother, or even from a single to mother, whatever it looks like for you, right?
Yes.
The journey somehow intertwines at one point, especially with motherhood, right? So that's what we're here to discuss, and full transparency, not that much transparency, just a little transparency, to just speak on it, right?
Yeah.
Speak on it, and if you hear me say, Cynthia, please, that's my version of Carisha, please, don't go there. Don't go there, don't touch too much into it.
I wouldn't.
It's not a safe zone for me, but I plan to keep it as open as possible. Because I don't know who else out there is struggling with me, right? I don't know who else out there is gonna get motivated, or not even motivated, but like say, okay, I stand with you. These topics are everywhere, by the way, right? But I know I watch YouTube videos of other people, or even Instagram videos of other moms posting stuff, or other wives posting stuff, and it's motivated me, right, on different topics. So I'm nobody, but if I say something that touches you, reach out to me. Means if I want to be a content creator too, I'll start my motivational speeches. So,
and we do hope that this episode, a lot of people learn from what you have to say, and also listen to what you have to say as well. Well, with that being said, let's start. Let's talk about how we met.
Are you sure?
No, really. Let's talk about it. Let's let the viewers know our relationship and how we've actually blossomed from the first day we met till now. So let's talk about that. Do you want to?
No, let me tell you.
Okay.
Let me tell you.
Okay.
So,
Be truthful.
I'll be truthful. I'll keep it real. I'll keep it real. Don't worry. My husband has been friends with Cynthia prior to our marriage. He's been friends with Cynthia for 6 years, even 8 years, even before.
Yeah.
It was a while.
So since 2009.
Yeah, they were friends for a while, and this was 2018 we're talking about when I met Cynthia. Or is it 17? 17, 18, around that time, right? So it's a long friendship between them, right? I've heard of her here and there once in a while, Cynthia this, Cynthia that, but not much details. Oh, child. I hosted, I think it was a 30th birthday get together, or
it was a birthday. It was Chima's birthday.
I think it was a birthday. I think it was some kind of celebration because he just landed a new job, right?
Okay.
And I wanted to celebrate him.
Okay.
So I called a few of his friends, and of course, he wanted Cynthia there. No problem, the more the merrier. So, I'm like, invite whoever, it's your day. Child, the day comes. It's like an hour or two before the event, and then my husband calls Cynthia. I don't know who calls who, but he has her on speaker.
It was the previous day. It was a day before.
No, it was that day, trust me.
Really?
It was that
That's
day.
the day?
It was that day because a specific person was in the house that day, and it was still,
Okay.
It was that day, right? So let me cut the story fast and not add the little nitty-gritty details. Cynthia is on the phone to my husband, Chima! And if you know Cynthia's voice, you know how annoying it can be on the phone, right? And you're her friend. Imagine now somebody who's not her friend hearing her talking to her man, right? Chima, I want Bailey's. You better make sure there's Bailey's there. You better make sure you're my favorite drink. I'm like, hey, you don't mean it. So you know me as a woman, I'm looking at my husband like, hey, you don't mean it, Mrs. Bailey's, right? Mrs. Bailey's, or what, as by you're going to buy her Bailey's, right?
Bailey's. Irish cream is my favorite drink.
She's commanded you, and you're going to go and buy it, right? So my husband is probably thinking in his head, oh Lord Jesus, what is happening? So Cynthia comes, and anyways, time passes. Cynthia comes to the event, right? Walks into my house, says hi to Chima.
I said hi to everyone because people that I also know were there as well.
Sure, she said hi to everybody. Me, I didn't receive the hi shot, but I guess I wasn't everybody. I think I was in the room changing. By the way.
You weren't there.
I was in the room changing.
Yeah.
So I come out. She's there with her two lovely friends. You know who you are. And I'm gonna give y'all a shout out because there's something that y'all did, and I heard that y'all did after. And I'm like, y'all real. Y'all keeps it real. So, I'm looking like, is she gonna say hi to me? Like I am the woman of the house.
But I haven't. When I came into the house, I was asking of her, like, where is wifey?
I didn't hear that part.
Wifey?
I did not hear that part. All I see now is a woman who asked for Bailey's for my husband is down in the house and she's not saying hi to me. Here's the icing on the cake. As we're waiting to see who's going to say hi to each other, mind you, this is years ago. I'm way more mature now, and if I see somebody, I'm going to walk up to you and be like, hey girl, how you doing? But back then I was younger, so I'm trying to stake my ground and everything. Homegirl gets up and she dives to my fridge. You don't say hi to the woman of the house and you dive to my fridge.
Okay. I did ask of you.
I didn't hear it.
I asked of her, but she was in the room.
So who did you think was the 6 feet big woman going in and out of the rooms when I came out?
But there were other ladies there.
Sure.
But let them know though. We haven't met each other.
We
yet.
haven't met.
So I don't even know who
she's
she
seen my
is.
picture.
She doesn't know me.
I know, but she's seen my picture, guys. She's seen my picture.
But you weren't there. You were not in the living room.
Sure.
When we came.
When I came out, she didn't say nothing. The one that just had pins all over my body is like, she dived into my kitchen to go see the Baileys. I hope you bought the Baileys. Chima, I hope you, I'll show you the thing.
It's okay.
Chima, I hope you bought my Baileys. And I'm like,
yes, where's my Baileys? Where's my Irish cream? Because
you're opening another woman's fridge in front of her. The eye that I gave my husband, at that moment, my husband knew at that moment to start doing some kind of connection because you have 20 minutes before I start destroying everything in this party. With my eyes and attitude. So fix this. So my husband, being the calm man that he is and trying to make peace, he goes, Cynthia, come and meet my wife.
Yeah, because I already asked. I was like, where's wifey? What's going on? It's like she doesn't want to say hi to me. Where's wifey?
Well, Cynthia, he introduces us. Lo and behold, the whole night actually goes pretty smooth. It was fun. It was nice.
That's when she realized that I'm a cool person.
She's a cool person. I relaxed, right? Because I was like, okay, whatever. We've gotten over the big shoulder, big girls who's gonna say hi to who first. We've gotten over it. So the whole night, everybody was drinking. We're having fun. So that's just literally how we met, right?
That's how we met.
And that was how many years ago?
Well, that was 2018.
Since 2018. And since then, there's been a lot of changes.
Yes. And her daughter is my goddaughter.
Yes.
Her first child is my goddaughter. So
there's been a lot of changes. So when I met Chima, I was married, but we only did the court wedding. Well, when I met you, I'm sorry, I said Chima. That's my husband's name. But when I met Cynthia, I only did my court wedding. That's so my parents can release me to go and live with their man. And then from there, the next year we did all that. We did the Ikwaka, I did the court wedding.
Okay.
And then my father is a priest. Sorry if you couldn't tell. If you follow me, you couldn't tell my father is a priest. I'm sorry. I'm not your regular pastor's kid. But my parents insisted that we must have a church wedding for them to further bless the marriage and recognize our marriage before we start having kids. So I said, let me hurry up and just give these people their wedding so I can just...
It's very important. Our parents don't play now.
I know, but honestly, I'm not a big fan of big weddings anymore. I'm not.
But you had a big wedding.
I had a big wedding, which nobody knew about. So how big was that?
No,
I didn't
Kelsey, your
have-
wedding was big.
It was big. I didn't have a hashtag.
Her wedding was big.
I didn't have a hashtag. It's Wisconsin. Nobody cares about Wisconsin. But it was nice. It did what it was supposed to do. But if I was to look back right now, I wouldn't waste my money on that day again. I would not. I would have kept it to my church, my court wedding. Did a little mini shindig at church and then went out to eat or have a little reception. I would rather have that money sitting in my account right now, trust me. And it wasn't even like the amount that I'm hearing these days people are using for weddings, but a lot has happened, right?
So you've been saying that. You've been saying that if you had known, you would have rather you guys would have bought your house 1st before anything else.
If I knew what I knew now, and granted, please do not take this as me telling you people what to do.
Yeah, it's a personal choice.
That comment section, don't come for me. There's really nothing to come for anyways.
Yeah.
But like, this is my personal opinion, right? And do what fits you. For me, I would rather have that money sitting in my account right now. I don't have student loans, but I'd rather have my husband's student loans paid off. You know, there's a lot more things I would have wanted to do with that money than to spend it on 8 hours. I didn't eat that day. I don't remember who was there if it wasn't my friends. 80% of them, the people in that wedding I didn't care for. Sorry to say it. This goes viral. You're 20% of the people I care for. Everybody's 20% of the people that I care for. But honestly, like, save that money, right? I would rather have gone to a destination, did a little gathering on the beach, said my vows next to the waters with my few friends and close family and few friends.
That's it.
And called it a day. And walk around with thousands and thousands in my account. Full transparency, and I said I was gonna keep it real, right? We did that wedding, and let me tell you the truth. What's left is what we're hoping for from the dance floor, right? So don't buy the hype. Trust me. Go at your own pace, at your own time, and at your own budget as well. That's most important, right? At your own budget, because at the end of the day, you're the one who has to look back 8 hours later and be like, well, what have we done? And everybody else is gone. People have gone onto their flights and gone home, and that's it. But that's a little spiel on what I think about weddings. That's a little extra there, but
after the wedding, reality kicks in. And that's when I transitioned, of course, into motherhood, right?
So
let's talk about that.
My wedding was August of 2019, and let me tell you guys a funny story. I thought that if you want to get pregnant this month, right, you get pregnant. I don't know what came over me. Well, the pressure came over me, right? Where I thought after wedding, boom, baby, right? And a lot of people would not admit this, but that's the pressure that's on our backs, right? Everybody starts womb watching. So I'm like, okay.
Well, not for every. I will say that it's more for African women.
Yeah.
If you're African.
I think it's not just. I think it's a general thing too.
Really?
Honestly, yes. After the wedding, everybody starts looking at, God, it's poke, the breast don't swell, type stuff, and they start just womb watching. Any little weight gain, you don't enter, type stuff. So
I'm sorry to cut you off, but I usually think that the pressure is more on African women.
The pressure is on African women, but I think it's a universal thing as well. I think it's a universal thing. After wedding, the next step is that's how you have that song. What's that song? First came the ring, first came the house, and then the marriage and the baby. That's a song. That's an American rhyme, right? No, was it a nursery rhyme? Whatever you call it.
Whatever it is.
It's American. But I had a wedding in August, and by October, I'm trying for a baby. And my husband was like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yes, I want a baby." I tried October, it didn't enter. November, it didn't enter. I said, "Hey! Hey, what? My womb is not there." I started calling all the fertility doctors in Rockville. And this is me keeping it real, right? And they're like, "Have you tried for 6 months?" I said, "No." Then I called back again. I said, "Yes, I've tried for 6 months." I realized they won't let me move ahead if I haven't tried for 6 months. So
what do you mean move ahead?
Like they want at least for the people that I called, you have to have been trying for 6 months before you qualify or start talking about any fertility treatments, right?
Oh, okay.
I started researching. I was like, "Babe, You can't wear tight boxers anymore. This is killing your sperm. Somebody told me, what you call it, milkshake. I made this man drink milkshake every day. I said milkshake will increase your sperm count.
What kind of milkshake?
Vanilla. They said vanilla milkshake.
Okay.
They now say you shouldn't sit the same place for a long time. I'm like, hey babe, be getting up every 30 minutes at work so you can keep the sperm cycle coming. Like, you honestly, when you're desperate, you don't. That's what I'm saying. Like,
but why did you have that pressure on you?
no, but it's 2 months after my wedding. Nobody was even giving me that pressure. I put it on myself. I literally put it on myself. I can't even tell you that it was my mom, my grandma.
Yeah.
I put it on myself because that's what I thought I'm used to, right? November, my husband, because my husband can only tolerate so much of my nonsense before he's like, I'm done. So November, he's like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. When the baby comes, baby will come. I remember I was like, you know what? Let me chill. I'm probably working my body up. I mean, I had even ovulation tests. I'm like, see, it's purple, it's dark purple. Or you meet me in the room, anywhere. I can't let this egg release without you jamming me, you know? Like, it was some, like, obsession over timing my body and everything. I'm like, no. So I relaxed. This is now in December. I will tell you right now. I can tell you the day, the time that it happened. And I got pregnant the first time, in December. That's how much it stuck to me because I was just relaxed, right? I was finally relaxed from the whole process. The pregnancy itself, the kicker, girl.
What?
I got pregnant, pandemic hit.
Oh, yes,
She
did. And, let's talk about the pandemic when you got pregnant. I've actually seen a lot of women, there are a lot of women who got pregnant during the pandemic and they were actually depressed. Were you depressed during the pandemic?
I would say my depression didn't hit me until I would say the second pregnancy. That's when I can say, and I wasn't really clinically diagnosed, so I'm very, very area about using the word depression, but I really had a lot of blue moments, right? Where, and my dad is a psychiatric doctor and everything, but he will tell you you cannot until you get the official diagnosis. You really can't claim the diagnosis. So pregnancy was fine. I'm thinking this pandemic will last like 2 months, right? Because I'm already planning like my maternity shoes, how it's gonna be, who's going to be in the room. I really didn't see the pandemic going, and at that time I was a nurse. I was a nurse, right? So I carried my pregnancy, and it was now everybody's dying around me. People are dying. I don't know if I'm considered if I'm considered compromised or whatever word they used to be, like the immunocompromised, right? So I used to carry my baby like 3 months pregnant and going into the depths of like the thick of COVID at work. And it was the scariest thing. I remember the first day I had to go back to work when COVID broke out. I was shaking. Like my DON was sitting there holding me in the hallway. I'm like, oh my God, what if anything happens to me? What if anything happens to my baby? I was even having a discussion with my husband, and I'm like, if anything needs to happen, who would you save? Because I need to know.
I remember you said.
You remember? I asked him that, and I said, who would you save? Because it's at the moment now where people are, it's me and this baby. Financially, we couldn't do one person working, right? And this is right after our wedding, so we don't blew a good amount of money. So I had my baby. September, God saw me through. I missed out on my baby shower. That was sad, very sad. So all the pregnant moms during the pandemic can relate to this. Or any other person who had to postpone their wedding, right? Who had to miss a special because of the pandemic. You can relate. It just robbed you of some precious moments. I didn't have a baby shower, which is okay. Next one will come. What else did I have? Next one will come, and it did. Don't go ahead. Don't go too much ahead now. And whatchamacallit? So it went by fast, and I had her in September.
Yeah, you did.
All the dreams and everything didn't matter. I ended up having her, it was actually a very complicated delivery, and I ended up having her via C-section. that happened, and what else happened? So at this point, my transitions now have just been from motherhood to motherhood. I would say last year was a big transition for me too. Since then,
Yeah. So let's get into that. From being a nurse to transition into well, you are still a nurse, but being a nurse and transitioning into IT.
I like to touch on something first.
Why?
Transitioning from even a single woman to marriage to motherhood.
Yeah. So yeah, single woman, marriage, motherhood. So how has that shaping you?
It shaped
How
me.
has that shaping your life? Yeah.
Don't you see how it shaped me? You don't see it? You don't see how it shaped me?
No, don't say that. It's normal. It's normal.
But definitely from single life itself to
Okay, before you say that, do you miss anything about being single?
hey.
And if you do, what do you miss?
Is my husband here?
No, he's not.
Is he gonna watch this? Baby, if you're watching this, skip this part. Do I miss anything about being single? Yes, I think every woman out there, I mean, let me not say every. If you hear me say every woman out there, I'm talking about like a good portion. I know there's an exception here and there, right? But there are things I miss about being a single woman, right? I would say definitely just being able to get up and go,
Okay.
right? When you're married, you just can't do that anymore. This is my life, though. I'm not speaking for anybody out there.
Yeah.
Watch yourself in the comments. You just can't, right? You're now a partner with somebody. When I was single, I can just pack a bag today and flee from my parents' house if I want to, right? Now it's like, it's a discussion. It's something that needs to be tabled out and, see how each person, every move. It's not just, I'm not talking about traveling, I'm talking about every move in life, right? If I want to transition to something, I can't just say I'm doing it. I have to have a conversation,
talk about it.
right? So that single autonomy, I kind of miss that a lot. Granted, even now, my husband still lets me do, as I wish, and still, encourages me to do what I want, but, it's weird. And also, like, how do I say, like, not having people look at you with the stigma of, oh, if you do this, is that a married woman?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's a married woman. Look what she's doing.
Yeah.
Or a married woman can't dress like that. I still dress how I want, Sha.
She does.
But it's like there's stigmas that come with marriage, not just dressing. Anything you do, there's this stigma of you're a married woman.
Even
And
if you
single
drink.
people too.
Even if you drink alcohol.
I remember my mom told me at one time, I can't be drinking and my husband is there watching me. I'm like, huh? It's like, we're not even gonna get to my mouth shop. But there are just things that you don't hear people mention until you're married and they're like, oh, you're married, What else would I say I miss? I definitely don't miss my bank account when I was married, when I was single. No, I don't miss that at all. Y'all, if y'all thought I was balling, then I wasn't. I didn't have nothing, y'all. I didn't have nothing to my name, but we'll go into that later. But I think that's the only thing that I'll say. One of the few things that I'll say I miss. Sometimes I do want to go get up, get dressed, and just go out there and, weird. I don't know how to explain it, but the main ones I've gone ahead and listed out.
Yeah, because you're still, if you want to go out with your friends, you're still able to
my
do
husband
that.
is so chill.
If you want to travel, you're still able to travel.
Yeah.
So her husband is not the kind that says that you can't go out with your friends anymore, or you can't travel because now you're married.
Yeah, he's
so
very,
all the fun stops.
He's very, like, sometimes I'm like, are you sure you don't want to tell me how you're really feeling? Because it's just like, go, do you.
She might as well give a damn.
He don't.
Right.
He
don't mean
care.
it. It's for work.
But from there, it's now the transition from now being a married woman with no kids, right, to a married woman with kids. Y'all, I know y'all see these posts everywhere, and it's like it's supposed to be motivational, but y'all, it is a shift. It is a huge shift, right? Especially, to me, I felt like me and my husband didn't spend enough alone time together before the kids started coming. So it's like now we're done figuring out ourselves, and now we just put a life into it, right? And now it's like, sorry, you're not supposed to put yourself last, but it's kind of like something innate in your body that makes you just put the child first, right? And marriage second. So that's what we started doing. And that had its own trickling effects. And the fact that me and him, it was an adjustment. And I don't have family members. Well, I have family members around here, but.
So that adjustment was major, especially with the first child, when the first child came in.
It was huge. It was a huge change. Like, remember when we used to go on double dates and we would go to the movies? Now you have to think about who's going to watch your child. The person who's going to watch your child, do you trust them?
Yeah.
Is there a camera plugged in around the house so you even be at that movies? Like, you see me looking at cameras.
Yeah.
Like, I can't even focus on where I'm going anymore because it's like, I need to see what my kids are doing. I need to see what's going on with my kids and everything. So it's like you struggle with the fact that you're now putting yourself second, right? I think one thing
second is even too much. So like
last,
yeah.
Because now I have to prioritize my husband, and then I'm last.
Yes.
And that had a huge trickling effect on my mental health and even physically, which I'll get to later. But now it's like, okay, the first kid comes and I'm not, something just broke where I now had a baby the next year after. You know, it was like, that's how my husband was. He was just, it takes two shots, but you know, it was something that I did not foresee coming. It was a huge emotional draft here and there where I'm just like, what have I done? And let's not talk about the anxiety in today's world of having a baby thing, right? Where you're worried about, is this the world I'm going to raise my child in? Because I'm a Christian, I'm not perfect.
No one is.
I'm not perfect, but I have my own morals and I have things that I abide by, right? And it's like, this world is getting more
dangerous.
And it's like, you hear about school shootings and they will take you back into this black hole of, oh my God, one day my child is going to go to school. And, you know, it's a mental trip constantly. You're constantly worried about, are they eating healthy? You know, are you eating healthy? Like, there's a video I saw where somebody was like, you're worried about somebody eating healthy and you don't even know if you're eating healthy. You know, you're not even worried about yourself. So it's just adjusting to being second place was an adjustment to me and him. That took a toll on our marriage. And then not to help it, like I said before, I started having kids back to back.
Oh.
I had
3 years straight.
I had my daughter September 2021. I had my son December 2022. No, I had Naomi. Look at us. My son. No, Jesus. How many kids do I have? Naomi was 2021. SMG was 2022 December. And I just had one this past December.
No, what I was saying.
How many kids do I have?
We can't say SMG was 2022 December because we just left 2022.
Okay,
2020.
hold on.
2020 was Naomi.
I'm going outside.
Naomi.
I am going outside. In my defense, each pregnancy takes away brain cell. I don't know about her defense.
So it's 3 years straight.
3 years straight.
Yeah.
2021, 2021, and then 2022. Nobody should expect it. We're done.
Oh no, we're expecting the fourth one.
We're done, but
we're expecting the fourth one. Not my part.
Who? From you?
The fourth one.
Congratulations!
You're breaking the fourth one.
You guys,
do not mind her.
She just broke to you guys. She's expecting her. She's putting. This is projecting 101.
No,
because it can't be me. We're done.
Even our friends know that the fourth one is coming. So.
And I'm telling all my friends, everybody who's wishing me and telling me I'm gonna get pregnant this year, all of you people, one by one. Yes, I said it. When I go carry Bele before summer, Bele, and I will be like Cynthia of my own time. I will schedule all the brunches around your pregnancy. You will go through what I went
But
through.
at least you came out with us.
Oh, I gotta come out.
The only difference was that
I wasn't drinking.
She wasn't able to drink.
These
That's
suckers
it.
were sitting there
They
like
had
downing
fun.
drinks in front of me. Like I remember we went to brunch one time. They were like drinking like from a hose. What is it called? Is it a pipe or whatever? Whatever.
What was the stuff?
They
The towel?
drowned
Yeah, the towel.
it in front of me, and nobody considered how I felt. So now,
We
all
did.
of them are waiting for me to have number 4. But watch out, mark my words. One by one, they shall all carry their leg. From you will see, but no more.
She said she's done, and
We're done.
I'm going to believe her that she's actually done.
We're done. So I think that is the biggest transition since I met you, and then 2022. I did have a huge transition in career.
Career. Yeah, let's talk about career. Let's talk about career. Why did you say, oh God?
Because, okay, so transition.
That's a major transition in a good way.
It was.
Yeah, in a good way.
It was.
And mind you, she's a nurse. And so she's transitioned into IT. Not just any nurse, she's an NP, a nurse practitioner. So, and transitioning, let's talk about how you transitioned into IT and what made you transition into IT.
Well, it was pandemic triggering everybody to shift, right? But mine was more like I'm now a mother of soon to be 2. And I'm not comfortable. At that point, I wasn't comfortable with a nanny. I didn't want a nanny.
You didn't want a nanny at that time.
I didn't want a nanny. I didn't want anybody to take care of my kids, right?
And I was like, get a nanny. What are you talking about? We have friends that have nanny, you know?
So I've seen the light. I've seen the light. I've seen the lights, guys. Get a nanny. Get a nanny. But literally, I had to sit myself down and be like, I am not comfortable leaving my kids to go work 12 hours a day with patients, seeing patients, and my kids' life are like going, right? I come home, I'm tired. My husband sees me tired, and my husband is in tech as well.
Remember when you went to work, says a country walk, when you went to work, I think that was your first nanny. You went to work and you came back and you was like, I'm done. She went to work. That was the first nanny she had. She went to work and the whole time she was complaining like, Cynthia, I have to be home. I feel so guilty. And I'm like, what? You've been home this whole time and you finally have a nanny for you to go to work. You feel guilty? She went to work the following day. She didn't go back. That was when she quit.
Again.
That was it.
I literally told myself, now it's do or die, right?
Yeah.
You can't keep going to work and leaving the door. And I told them, I said, I gotta go. I have to go, y'all. I was crying. I was passing meds, crying. What use? I'm here taking after patients. The patients are taking after me. Like, what use am I here? And they sent me home. I told them I'm going home. Like, I'm not gonna walk out, but y'all gonna send me home. So I think that day was the day it hit me like a dagger in my chest. And I'm like, I don't ever want to leave my kids.
You felt guilty.
I felt guilty, and with my kids, I'm very particular. Cynthia will tell you, from the clothes they use to the diaper they use to how you wipe them when you're changing their diaper, right? It's like a boot camp with me. If you're gonna take care of my child, you gotta go through a boot camp. And it was the only person that was watching Naomi then was Cynthia. That's the only people we could trust, if you remember.
Yeah,
I remember I went to go have my son. We had nobody to watch our child. Nobody, no family member. My mom was sick with COVID. Very
And
bad.
they live out of state too.
And they live out of state. They couldn't come. My family member, my sister is pregnant. Everybody was like tied up. I had nobody around me.
Yeah.
Cynthia was the only person I trusted to come and watch my child, because I know if she's around her goddaughter, her daughter will be fed. My daughter will be fed. She's gonna be well taken care of. So it was like I couldn't put everything on Cynthia's shoulders, right? And that is why to today, I know you're not supposed to. What do they say? Owe people because they did something for you, right?
No.
But like, there's a certain sense of gratitude you have. People don't forget what you did for them when they have a baby, when they get married, when they're pregnant, and when they have a baby. That's from you. I never forget what's done to me at that moment. And when I tell y'all, this girl was my family's backbone. I'm not kidding.
Right.
Like, she was the backbone. I remember when we brought the baby back,
Who?
That's
EJ?
We brought the baby back, and this one wanted to play mommy. Hey! Meanwhile, this is Cynthia. Are you okay? You need more help? Homegirl couldn't hang. Like, 10, 11 was her time out. The night version, she could not hang. Like, you stayed with me extra 1 week after I came from the hospital.
Listen,
and
mothers, kudos to you guys. Listen, especially new mothers, and when you just bring your child back from the hospital, man, it was hard, and I felt so sorry for her. I felt guilty for leaving her, and the reason why I had to leave was because I had something to do with my sister, but I had to leave that day. When I got home, I told my sister, like, I feel so guilty that I left Kosi. It was hard. And
I
tell
had
them why.
I had a C-section.
Yeah, that is C-section.
I had a C-section. I have a toddler and I have a baby, right? And
Naomi is a handful.
my daughter is literally me on booster shots.
Yeah.
She will do what she wants to do, and yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I'm still thankful that God will still give you, even if you feel like, oh, I can't do it, right? Or I don't have. He will still provide when you need it.
Yeah.
Somehow, some way, He gives you the help you need, right? And then from there, after I had my son, it was like, I'm really not gonna leave the house now. So one thing about me, I like to channel my name Victoria. I told you in the beginning of this video, call me Victoria, because my name is Victoria. See, victory. Shall I put my mind to it? I have God behind it. It's all God, Shah, at the end of the day, right? Because I was so down, and again, I don't want to use the word depressed. I don't want to use that. But I was so down with what is the next step in my life.
Do you know it's so crazy that I didn't know you were depressed? I don't know if it's because we're like maybe because we're always together.
Yeah, and
I didn't see
a lot
that.
of people hide behind it with laughs and jokes. Like I have a friend who, if something bad is happening right now, we will call each other and literally make dark jokes. That's how we get over it. Somebody like me,
because this is my first time hearing this part.
and that's the thing. At that moment, you want to show that you have it all and you're not weak, right? It's funny how when you overcome something is when you realize I really could have asked for help. It wasn't that big. Like, you know what I'm saying? Asking for help wasn't that big of a deal. But it takes you to get over it, to understand this is what I should have done better in this situation. Not to make it worse, everybody was working around me and earning their income. I saw her blossoming in her career. My husband was blossoming, and I'm like, I just left my career behind. What am I going to do, right? And that's when the whole tech thing came out, and I'm like, I have to transition. And I literally put it on top of my head. It was the motivation, the drive. Kids give you the weirdest drive ever.
And I've heard that so many times.
It will make you feel like you have wings, because I know I'm doing this for myself, I'm doing this for my spouse, and I'm also doing it for little lives that depend on me. Or more. You know the theme song that I like to say for last year for me is Oleku by, what's his name?
Ice Prince
and Dreamer or whatever. That's literally was the theme song of my life last year. Like, show me something that I can't do with God on my side. You know what I'm saying? Like, something that with God on my side I can accomplish. At that moment, I had to find a nanny, because I did. After transitioning, I landed the roles that I wanted to land. It was like, okay, you need a nanny now, right? So I had a nanny who was she was great. She was great. Okay. Was. Little to say she's gone now, but in the meantime, she served the purpose, right? And it was a huge shift, right? It's and once in a while I do mourn my nursing career. I do.
You do?
I do, because it's something I'm passionate about.
But you can't always go back.
I will go back. I had these goals of, and even business-wise, what I wanted to do with nursing, right? And I don't want to leave it behind. Eventually, I will have to make a choice, right? And that's the thing, Cynthia. I realized last week that I don't want to work for nobody's son no more.
No.
No.
You need to
So I
find
might
a
never
side
even,
hustle.
I might never even go back to nursing. From here onwards is to hold my husband on a chokehold on what are we going to do next, right?
You might go back to nursing, but you have a business.
I will have a business.
Yes.
And I have a few ideas in my hair as far as like practice here and there,
Yeah.
but it takes capital, right? You have to build the capital from there. And I, with 3 kids and the nanny and everything, it's something that you can't just rush into. And the economy right now is looking like, I don't know, but I don't even know.
You can also have a healthcare business.
Yeah, that's where it will head to eventually. It will be like I'll
Your
do
own
my
practice.
own practice and contracting, but
Yeah.
it's hard. It's really hard, and I do tell everybody out there who's going through this transition, right, is to the advice that I would take is to be easier on yourself.
It's very important. Don't look at what other people are doing.
Please don't.
Even though you're going to look at what others are doing, use it as a motivation.
I know the episode before this was about women talking about, marriage and
relationship,
bills
and
and
immigration.
everything. Please, at the end of the day, nothing matters more than picking the right person.
When you say person, the right partner.
The right partner,
Yes.
right?
Who's going to support you,
Because
motivate you, and be there for you.
at the end of the day, you will see when you pick the right person and the right partner, all those things will fall. It will be effortless, right? Choosing the wrong partner. Choosing the wrong partner.
Hell.
Y'all know what is hell? Hell on earth?
Yeah.
You have your own hell on earth. I'll stop there. But it's just important to, as we're focusing on the nitty gritty of what we want, right? To focus on the bigger picture of picking who God has designed for us and what He wants, not what we want, but what He wants, and just making sure we don't lose the target of never settling because of what other people are doing. Oh, Amaka, at my age, is married.
And I'm not yet married.
I'm with how many kids and I'm not yet married.
Yeah.
You don't know what Amaka is trapping inside of a bedroom.
They can lead to a lot of unforeseen circumstances. Just looking at what other people are doing, it can put you in trouble.
Big trouble. Career-wise too. Focus on your own path. I was going crazy last year because I felt like I don't hammer, right? Cynthia will mention a career that's booming. I want to do it.
But we did though. We just jump into different careers.
If you said like cleaning out the sewage was making a woman, this is me with my sewage outfit. I'm going in. But I had to realize that focus, right? That everybody is doing it doesn't mean that it's for you. Right?
Yeah.
You make sure it's for you. Make sure it's the package that God has wrapped for you. So I had to refocus and say, calm down. Even my husband was tired of me. He would go to work and come back. I'm a neurosurgeon. He would go to work and come back. I'm a pilot. He was like, and he would support me. He was like, okay, babe, if you want to do, I will encourage you. But I'm like, at one point, I had to talk to myself and be like, yo, chill. Like, how many careers did I tell you I want to switch into? So they were looking back, hey, yo, this person is this, and they're doing so well, they're doing great, and I'll be like, I'll go to Glassdoor. How much does
they making?
Blah, blah, blah make? And I'll get it lost in this rabbit hole.
And you know what? It's crazy you said that because I've actually learned that as well because one thing about me or the friends that I have around me were very focused, right? So anything that is out there, especially with career, that's giving money, that's where we want to be at.
And we put each other on.
Yeah, we do. We do put each other on.
We are so blessed with that.
It was like what, 4 or 5 of us.
4 or 5 of us was like, hey, yo, I want to do this. You want to do it?
And we started it
together. And if she finds something, we're not gatekeeping anything around here, right?
Because there's no jealousy.
There's not.
You should want to see your friends elevate at the end of the day. It doesn't matter what you're doing. If you have a friend who also want to do the same thing, don't get mad like, oh, she wants to be like me.
Unless
be like you have.
Maybe they're a witch.
Yeah, it's not like you have, even though you have, it's not like you have $1 million sitting down in your bank accounts. So
we don't
do not get upset because your friend want to do something.
We don't gatekeep.
And talking about that, I'm like, recently, I sat down recently. That was like a couple of weeks ago, and I was thinking. I said there are different things that I've invested money on in terms of career, and I wish I never did it. Because I was doing it in my head. I'm like, okay, if they can do it, I can do it too. But I wish I never did it, especially the one that I just finished. The whole not this recent one. Yeah, I wish I never did it, because in my head I'm like, okay, I don't know what's going on, and with jobs, companies were laying off people, and I got scared, and that's why I was looking for something else to do. And look at what God did.
Yeah.
You know, so believe in God, and if you're in a career that you're doing and you're doing it good, just stick to it and continue to improve yourself in it.
And if you're headed a dead end, the same vice versa. If you are at your work and you're feeling complacent and there's no place for you to go, and you're feeling the nudge to change, please do so.
Yeah, if you have to.
Yeah, do so. That is highly important. Like, pay attention to the season that you're in, and utilize whatever resources around you in that season.
Yeah.
And if it's time for you to pivot, go ahead and pin the block on that sucker and get out.
Yeah.
But I will say one thing is having the right circle around you.
Yes, that's very important.
When they say your net worth is your network, it's not a joke. It's not a joke, right? If you have friends who gatekeep stuff from you because they don't want you to,
elevate.
I don't want to see you elevate.
Just like them.
Please.
They are not your friends.
Get out.
They are not your friends.
I'm going to tell you right now that I have gotten to I can say, speaking of transitions in life, this is another transition I've done in life, right? Is surrounding myself with the people that I want to be in my life. Surrounding myself with the people that I know will go to the top of the mountains as I will for them. Because I'm not doing one-way friendships anymore.
Yeah.
And this year, the pressure is even getting worse. The pressure is going to get worse this year, honestly. Surround yourself with people who are willing to give you as much as you give them.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that if I give you 1,000, you must give me 1,000. I mean, is the energy. That's what I mean, right? Like, the energy behind it. Like, you should see the energy behind what people do for you. It should match. Yes, I believe in matching.
Yeah, it should match.
I believe in not believing in matching price tags, right?
No.
But I believe in matching energy.
Yeah.
And working within that capacity in friendship. So if you don't have the right people around you, it can hinder whatever you're trying to advance yourself in, right? I can say right now that what she put me on is what I'm sitting on right now. Very comfortable.
And you've owned it.
I owned it.
She owned it.
Like,
she owned it.
I owned it. But if she didn't put me on, would I be here?
If I didn't put you on, I'm sure that you would be able to.
Because it came with the right connections. Know that too. Know that there's some connections that you're plugged. You know what I'm saying? Like, there are some things that each person is gonna come with different packages, and I felt like I went to the package that's right for me, right? And I utilized it very well. The thing is, had you not even dragged me with you at that moment, right? I probably would have been complacent again and went back to nursing. Do you get what I'm saying?
Okay.
So yes, you lead it, like, you putting me into this person and leading me to this certain resource is what got me here. So nobody knows what it would have done if you didn't say anything or if you gatekeep that information.
I just kept it to myself.
Please don't stop gatekeeping. I have ADHD, and one thing I can't do is gatekeep.
Yeah.
From down to the panties I'm wearing. If you know where I got it from, I'll tell you. Like, anything you see me.
Because it's not made for just you.
Like, you don't win by gatekeeping. You might think you're winning, but you don't win by gatekeeping. If I have it, and I pride myself in this. If I have it, everybody around me.
Yes, everybody has to eat.
If I have it, everybody. So transition with your friends too.
Yeah.
Look around you, and if somebody is not serving, I'm too old to be keeping friendships that feel like a baggage on my back. And please, vice versa. It's time to also retrospect within ourselves too, right? To see where are we with our friendships. Because everyone wants to say, what can you do for me? Evaluate yourself to see if you're a good friend too. And that's something I had to do last year, right? I'm not perfect.
No one is.
I have my flaws.
No one is.
Right? I have my own flaws. Everybody
We
has
all
their own
do.
flaws.
We all do.
But a thing where you retrospect within yourself and say, what can I do better, right? What can I do better around this person? Or what can I do to better my friendship with this person? Not just moving and drinking brunch, going to brunch, drinking mimosas, and that's not where it ends. At the end of the day, this person you call your friend, how are they going to show up for you when you need them? And how do you show up for them when they need you? I know when Cynthia pulled me to do this talk, I panicked because I have a little insecurity right now after having babies, right? I had all these great ideas for us to do. And after a while, I'm like, I don't want to be in the camera right now. I'm big. I am struggling right now with physical, aspects. I have my insecurities. I don't want to be. But I said, I gave this girl my word. I'm going to fulfill it. And that's how friendships should be, right? Your say-do ratios too matter in friendships. I said, I cannot let her down. As insecure that I have to be, I have to set it aside. This is for her. This is her moment. This is her new venture.
And I appreciate it.
When she needs me, I will show up, whether it's comfortable for me. Can you step out of your comfort zone for your friends? Or can your friends step out of their comfort zones for you?
That's deep. That's deep.
Friendship is very easy when it's comfortable.
Yeah.
Very, very easy when it's comfortable. But when it gets uncomfortable, what do you do? How do you show up? So, a lot of things transition with this girl here. I'm talking about friendships. I'm talking about life itself. I'm getting to a point now where I'm starting to put me first again.
And that's also an uncomfortable feeling.
It's an
putting you
uncomfortable
first
because you don't know, you haven't done
but
it.
You're not used to it.
You haven't done it for a while.
And that's where I am right now as well. I'm putting me first.
I'm putting me, and I'm talking about.
I'm very selfish.
Aggressive.
Right now. No,
I will say you're not selfish.
No. Honestly, I am being selfish right now.
I think different.
Okay.
I think different. I like to psychoanalyze people. That's my job. But I don't think you're selfish. Putting yourself first, I want us to take those two things apart. It's not selfish.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Putting yourself first is not selfish. Please, every day, put yourself first. Above everybody else, put yourself first. Your husband, put yourself first. Yes, attack me for that comment. Yes, put yourself first, because for you to be a better partner to him, you gotta be okay with the life you're living for yourself in order to be okay for the partner that you have on top of your head. So I don't think it's selfish to put yourself first. I think it's self-care. I think it's creating boundaries. I think it's holding accountability to yourself and people around you. I don't think it's selfish.
And being intentional.
I'm being intentional. I don't think it's selfish. I wouldn't say it's selfish at all. Remove that. You are doing what you need to do to make sure Cynthia is always protected, right? Yeah. Do you have guards that you might be a little tough on? Yes.
Oh, yeah.
But later on, you're going to see with the right circumstance, those walls are going to come down, right? So I don't think it's selfish. I think you're protecting yourself and you're taking care of Cynthia. So yes, that's a great call out. It is uncomfortable, right? Because now me and my husband would get up and leave for hours, and I'm like, hey, God, I haven't seen my babies for how long? Yeah, they'll be okay.
They'll be fine.
When I come home, they'll be home. They'll be fine by God's grace.
Yes.
I'm learning now to even self-care. I gained so much weight, and people thought it was just from pregnancy, right? But I was so stressed eating, and any slightest inconvenience, I could get bread. Any slightest
Burger King.
Burger King, if you're watching this video, make me your ambassador.
She loves loved. Yeah, she loved Burger King.
I'm over it now. As in, my husband was like, what is wrong with you? It got to the point where I was sneaking. And I have a problem with food, right? I have an unhealthy relationship with food. It got to the point where, because I don't want my husband to see it, I will go to a parking lot
and go eat.
And eat it so he doesn't see me. Or anybody else, not just my husband. Anybody. Eat, wipe mouth, clean mouth, throw the thing in. That's just to show you how much I use food as comfort, right? I think this year...
And you're not the first person. There are people doing it.
I don't think my habit with food must be studied because it's different. Have you guys ever sat down and ate a whole loaf? As I'm working, attest to this, I have a loaf of adike bread always next to me.
Yeah.
A loaf for the day.
Oh, please tell them how you make your coffee.
Stop.
Please
don't make me bush.
Oh, no. Please tell them how you make your coffee. I have never seen this before in my life until I met her. Tell them how you make your
Africans drink tea, right? Tea, pig milk, sugar, and
now.
Bonvita.
Bonvita.
So I copied the same thing for my coffee. So I'll make hot water. I'll add like half a spoon of coffee, and then pour creamer inside of it, and
she says that's coffee.
I don't even finish how I do it.
Okay.
I can get bread.
Okay.
I hold it. I squeeze it. I don't eat it like this. I don't slice it. I don't treat it like a feminine. No. I don't treat it soft. It doesn't have soft life for me. I get it. I squeeze it. And then boom.
Life out of it.
Life must be out of that aggregate bread before you put it in your mouth, and that's how I do mine. So
I don't even know why she does that. Just drink the Bonvita now.
no,
drink the Milo.
because the creamer is different. It gives me a different taste.
Then you use pig milk.
I developed I'm lactose intolerant.
Oh.
I developed so much unhealthy habits that now I am. There are people who will see this video and be like, "Hey, is that close to?" Yes, it's me. And I'm coming back slowly, right?
She's trying.
I had to be honest and patient with myself. You just had kids back to back. You're not gonna look like Beyonce or Megan Thee Stallion.
And that's what we always told her. You just had kids 3 years straight. What do you expect to happen to you? It's normal, you know. And I like the fact that you're taking back your life.
Oh, I'm taking back my life.
Yes.
Because see these minis that they're wearing these days. I want to wear it too. I want to be outside. I want to be outside with my husband. I want to be outside with my homegirls. I want to feel confident. I used to hang around with her friends, and I'll be the maid in the midst of her friends. No, guys, I was the maid. I felt like the maid.
No.
I did.
Kosi.
They were dressed all fabulous. I came there probably with a turban one day, oversized clothes, because I was so uncomfortable. And I would look.
But you were pregnant.
I was pregnant and fat. And even if I wasn't pregnant, I would still do the same thing because I'm so used to covering up my body and the baggy clothes and everything. And look, that kind of motivated me. There's even one of our friends that motivated me, like, yo, if she can look this good after kids, right? Shit, I can too.
Yeah.
And if not everybody's journey is different, right? And everybody have different body types and everything.
Yeah.
I'm talking about what I want and what makes me comfortable. And this is not comfortable. But you know what's funny? My cousin one day said, be graceful to yourself because your starting place is somebody's end line. This body that I hate or hated is somebody else's goals. So, but that's been my transition, and honestly, I just feel like I said before, be graceful to yourself as you transition.
Yeah.
Another thing is too, when you transition, don't transition without your friends. Don't. You need them.
Yeah,
You need to have a balance. You can't make it all about when you get married, don't make it all about my husband.
About her. So I have a couple of friends that are married. It's her and one lives in Nigeria now. Both of them they are married women. They already know that, right? They don't put it on their head like, oh, I'm married to my own. No, I can't hang out with my single friends anymore. No, they're not like that. And I don't really want to have friends who are like that because you're married, so your single friends are trash. No, because before you got married, your single friends were there. When you're going through certain things, your single friends are still going to be there to help you. So don't be that. Well, if you want to be that one, that's your business too. But I'm just saying, don't be that woman that feel as though she's better than her single friends now that she's married. It's not that serious.
You're going to regret it because there's some things that homegirls have to walk you through, right?
Yeah.
And if you don't have them, it's gonna dawn on you the mistakes you make down the line.
Yeah.
And also be willing to get rid of, and yes, I said it, get rid of, or separate yourself from a friend who doesn't understand that there are newer boundaries.
Oh,
now,
yes,
right?
that one you should.
They need to understand that there's a new boundary now in place.
Yeah.
I'm a mother now and I can't do this, right? I can't, and they need to, let them be comfortable with what you're not comfortable with.
Yeah, and they need to let them have sense too that, okay, she's a married woman, there are certain things that we can expose her to.
Thank you.
If they don't do that, there's no need for them to be your friend because you're not looking after you.
And a friend who loves you would love your marriage.
Yeah.
Right? not necessarily love it, but respect your
Respect
marriage
it, yeah.
and want the best for you. I know how many times I'll call Cynthia hooping and hollering, and she will be like, "Hey yo, relax," right? You can tell that the process that she's walking me through is to make things better, not the ones that will pour kerosene on top of fire. You know,
yeah, it's not worth it.
There you can genuinely see people who care for you around you in every stage of life, and if nobody wants to work with you with that stage, remove them.
Yeah.
Remove
It's
them.
not worth it.
God, I must go stop. Oh, did I say that? Edit that part out. Hey! Edit that part out.
No, it's not
Oh
bad.
my
now.
God, that's a bad. I think I'm not into Nigerian history, but end up like
Ghana must
something.
go. But you know there's a Ghana must go back.
Okay, that's a good one. Okay.
Yeah, there's a good
Okay, I thought it was like some kind of history.
Oh
but
no,
I'm
no,
not,
no, 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 no,
There's
no,
a
no.
history behind
There's
that.
a history, but there's a Ghana. People say it all the time. It's not that serious.
Okay.
There's a Ghana must go
I'm
back.
not trying to be cancelled though.
But you know, there's a. I cannot remember the brand name, but there's a. I don't know if it's Louis Vuitton. I don't know.
They made a brand out of it.
They didn't make no brand out of it. That's Ghana must go. They're selling it for like $2,000. $2,000. Imagine.
This has been my, little mini journey in a little nutshell, to just touch on more.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Une. Thank you.
I'll tell you people later why she's speaking Igbo.
First of all,
Remember
right?
this video. Remember this part in the beginning right now.
I have Igbo friends, so of course I'm going to know how to speak Igbo, like little things here and there. It's not like everything, so that's fine. And I watch Igbo movies too, so.
Sure. Everything will make sense, Sha.
Une.
Everything will make sense, Sha. No. Let's let each other. Later on, you will see why all this Igbo is just falling out like this, left and right.
I don't know how to speak Igbo. I only know, I know little words. That's it.
She understands.
I understand, yeah. A little
So
bit.
I make sure even when I code switch around her, it's some kind of like deep core Igbo that she can't understand,
Yeah,
right?
I understand
So,
a little.
But it was fun.
Yes, thank you so much for coming.
It
I
was
appreciate
fun.
it.
You guys will see me later.
She will be here. So this particular episode is just to get to know Kosi or Victoria. I call her Kosi.
Victoria, please, if you don't know me personally, call me Victoria.
But other than that, you guys are going to see our dynamic. Like we're really down to earth.
goofballs.
Yeah, we're
like,
very, very goofy.
We've had our ups and downs in our friendship.
Yes,
Trust
we
me.
have.
Hey, we have had our ups and downs.
Ups and down, like parking gone, I don't want to see anything.
I send help, send breakup letter, come back again, right? But it's resiliency, and I think I shouted out in the middle of this video, and I said, "What are you going to do to make sure you're a better friend to somebody?"
Yeah.
Right? And I've had to learn that. Other people have had to learn that, right? And you grow. It pushes you to grow because you would do things out of stupidity, and you don't even know how it's taking effect on your friend, right?
Yeah.
But once it's called out, what is your next step to improve yourself, right? So this dynamic here, it's goofy. I can
We're
be
very
vulnerable.
goofy.
I can be vulnerable. I can tell you right now that this is one of the people in my life I don't have to pretend around.
Yeah.
I don't really pretend that much. If you know me, you know. I'll come to your house. Like I can be vulnerable with her, and I can say anything. I won't get judged. Trust me, I say guns have been cocked a while and bullets have been released.
Terminator.
Oh, Terminator style. I mean, lights out type stuff. But we've navigated it, right? And when you have a genuine love for somebody, you're going to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Right? But somehow you're going to come back to square one and say, okay.
And try to rectify it.
And rectify it. So this is the guys, guys, when I tell you people, from the jokes we make, down to we have similar, granted, she's presenting it more than me, but we literally have similar ideas in our heads. We think the same. I remember one day somebody was talking to me, let me confess, and I really wasn't paying attention. But she knows me well enough to know that the person was talking and talking.
Oh, it was Tony.
It was Tony, right? Talking and talking and talking. I was like,
and I was looking at them.
I was shrugging out of respect to the person and listen. but she was able to pick up from a mile away. That thing shocked me to today. I was like, wow, this girl knows me. She said to the person, Omo, make sure your person you're talking to is still here with you because she's probably far gone. That's somebody that has read me to the core to know that long sentences,
long talks now.
Long talks.
And I'm like that too. You can't talk to me for too long.
So we're very similar. Like even with fashion, the other day we saw the release of the Gucci. Slippers.
And we haven't spoken
about it, and we literally got on FaceTime, and I'm like, "Yo, have you seen that pink and purple slippers, Gucci?" And she's like, "I was looking at that yesterday." Like, you know, like it's just it's gotten through its rough patch to get to a place where it is now, and I hope to get it in better places. There are many things ahead, but everything you go through is a tool in your pocket, so to do better. So and again, this is how my husband are like this. Like they're very close. So it's like it's gonna even be hard. Like if we ever stop talking, how do you navigate not talking to a friend of 15 plus, going to 15 plus years?
Yeah.
15 plus years, because
when that situation happened, I remember him calling me.
He actually, because and that's again.
Like, yo, what's going on? What's up?
This is
get it together. He was like, oh, so what's gonna happen to Naomi now?
And then we have the comment exactly like she's the godmother of my child, right? So it's like, now what are we gonna do? What am I gonna? You want me to go back and return? I don't have the receipt to get another godmother. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's.
So y'all don't care about Naomi? I said Naomi's gonna be fine.
This summer, I've lost enough weight, so
we
outside.
We
and
outside.
if I'm outside, you're gonna see more of this dynamic, right? And it's really just having fun. Life is already.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
And thanks guys for watching and getting to know me more and getting to know Kosi, my friend. And thank you for your time. Okay, Victoria. Thank you for your time and thank you for tuning in to Cynthia Friends.